Okay, everyone, so welcome back to lecture. Now, in this lecture, guys, so I'm going to talk about a self-join operation, but I'll be talking about that with respect to some of the examples. So here we have a customer table, right? We have a customer table, and we had basically customer ID, customer name, email ID, phone number, and sign up date. We don't have a city and state column. So what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to alter the customer table, and I'm trying to add a city. I'm trying to add a state over here. We have already discussed this alter command multiple times in my previous lectures, right? In my initial lectures itself. And then I'm trying to feed a data inside this city and the state, which I have added as a new column. And then if I'm going to execute this select star from customers, so these are the data that you will be able to find out. Fine. Okay. Now, so what kind of a problem we are going to solve? So like I said, so we are going to see a self join operation. Now, what is the meaning of self join? So obviously, as its name suggests, self join means joining something with itself, right? So means if I have a customer table, so for some of the purposes, for some of the use case, I'm going to join this table with itself. That is something called as self join operation, right? So what kind of a use case we are looking for in this particular example? Let's try to understand that part in a first place. So see guys, we have this data, we have this customer data over here, we have city and state, and someone has asked me that try to find a customer in the same location, right? Try to find the customer in the same location. Meaning is that this Acme Corp that we have and a beta industry. So their city is same. Let's suppose I'm like trying to map it with the help of city or maybe a state or maybe both. So their city is same. So Acme Corp should be able to find out a beta industry. Means Acme Corp will be able to see a beta industry, and the beta industry will be able to map with the Acme Corp. And Delta service, which is like a location, city is Chicago and state is IL. Now, here, so Epsilon Tech. So again, there like a city is Chicago. It should be able to find each other, right? It should be able to find each other. It should be able to map with each other, and this too should be able to map with each other. It simply means that from this data itself, so we have to map with its own data, right? Then only I will be able to find out a customer with the help of like a same city, customer who is in a same city. Then only I will be able to find out. So let's write a query, and let's try to understand that how we can try to achieve this particular objective, right? How we can try to write down a query. So where customer will be able to find out who are in the same location. So obviously with the same table I have to join. So that's the reason. So I'm calling that as a self join operation. So here what I can do is that I can try to call select. So select basically, and select star, let's suppose as of now I'm trying to give from, right? So from customers, and I'm going to name it as a C1, as an alias C1. So select star from CUSTOMERS customers, so as alias as a C1. Okay, fine. Now, so I'm going to call a join, a simple join over here, and join basically with which table? So again, CUS customers table, and this time I'm going to give alias C2. So there will be two instances over here for the same table. So customer C1 and customer. For a customer itself, I have given C1 alias, and for customers table itself, I have given a C2 alias. There are two instances, right? So I'm treating this as a different table and this as a different table, but eventually it's the same table that I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the self join. So select star from a customer C1 joins customer C2. Now, if I'm going to execute it, what will happen? So here, if I'm going to execute this, you will be able to find out a lot many records over here. I have not given any kind of a condition, right? I have not given any kind of a condition. So what it will try to do is that it will try to give you every possible pair, as you can see, right? It is trying to give me every possible pair of each customer with each customer based on the customer ID, which is a default one. Yeah. So based on the customer ID, it is trying to give me each pair with the each pair. But I don't want that, right? What I want is that I want a customer from the same city. Means people from the same city should be able to find out are people with the same city, but not itself. But this result is even giving me that particular option. So here what we can do is that I can try to write a condition that on, yeah, on. So C1 dot city, right, on C1 dot city is equals to C2 dot city. C2 dot city. Okay, fine. So based on city, I can try to like filter it out. Now if I'm going to execute it, yeah, now if I'm going to execute it, so now my result is a bit smaller as compared to like before it was giving like a very lengthy. Okay, so now as you can see that yeah, so based on city is equals to city, so wherever we have this matching, based on the city, it is giving me a result. But still it's a redundant one, so I have to even eliminate that. Maybe I can try to write one more condition. So match this one and, right, and match C1 dot stat is equals to C2 dot stat. So match even state. Yeah, match even state. So fine, it is going to match a city and it is going to match a state. I don't think that result is going to change much because of it's the same thing, right? So both parties or both the tables are holding the exact same thing. Okay, now I can write one more condition over here, that C1 dot customer customer ID should be lesser than C2 dot customer customer ID. Now what this will do, by the way, yeah, what this will do. So obviously based on the city and based on the state, I'm trying to apply a filter. That's completely okay. But here I'm trying to say that, okay, so even try to apply this condition and try to do a mapping with the customer IDs. So I'm trying to say that don't try to map with the same customer ID. As you can see, we have a mapping with the same customer ID. Again, we have a mapping with the same customer ID. So it is trying to map with itself, right? We have to avoid that part. So now if I'm going to execute this part, so you will be able to see that it is not mapping with the same customer ID, and we are able to get a customer. So Acme Corp, we are able to map it with the customer name Beta Industry, and here city and state is same, and we are able to avoid the ID part just because of this one. Yeah, just because of this one. So this is something called a self join, guys. So with the help of self join, now I'm able to map Acme Corp with the Beta Industry and Delta with the Epsilon Tech. So whichever was having a same city and same state, I'm able to map it. And this is eventually called as self join operation. Simple, beautiful, right? A small, lovely, simple, sweet, and beautiful example of the self join we are able to find out. So where one customer from the same city and a state will be able to find out other customers. So query is not at all tough if you are going to break it down into a small part. Simple. And technically self join is what? Like I'm trying to treat same table as a two different table. That's it, right? That's it. So with that, thank you so much everyone. Take care and see you again in my next lecture.